You A's get you. It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and ranking our top centers in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM on a tier list. Now, as always, guys, the cards behind gambling won't be included. You don't understand how many comments I get per video. Well, Ty, where is Bulbul at? Well, Ty, what about Dark Matter Kristaps? What about Dark Matter Wemby? All of those cards that I just mentioned and more, like they're S tier caliber cards. But I'm not going to include them. Why? Because not everybody can get them. You got to get lucky to pull them. They're all behind gambling. Shaq, Kareem, Emeka Okafor, Mark Eaton. None of those cards are going to be included. So just realize all of those cards basically would be S tier. I'm just even saying Patrick Ewing, who a lot of people don't like, would even be S tier on this tier list. So just something to let you guys know. Alperen Şengün, basically like Jokic. Wherever Jokic is wherever Şengün is. Wherever Şengün is wherever Jokic are. These cards to me are literally like the exact same card. I know they're slightly different, like very slightly, very, different releases, whatever else you guys want to say. But basically identical cards where it's like they're going to basically go out and give you the exact same thing on the court. Both cards, I think, are 6'11". Both cards going to play lanes decently. Both cards, obviously, are going to be able to knock down shots with a really high three ball. I like both these cards. I got Jokic off the Ascension. A lot of people got Şengün off of Domination. Maybe their best position is that power forward position just because, they can, they're not necessarily undersized there. But even at the center position, I still think they're A tier. I really do. Both cards are free. Both cards are cards you can use and have a lot of success with. Anderson Varejao at this stage, I know there are some people that like him, but I think C tier is where I would have him. Again, maybe I'm too low on the card and maybe I should be higher on him. I just don't see it with Varejao. Ben Wallace, I'm also going to go C tier with. I know some people might like Varejao more. Some people might like Ben Wallace more. The tough part with Ben Wallace is he literally can't shoot at all. At least with Varejao, he can knock down that occasional three ball. Whereas with Ben Wallace, you're not getting any of that from the card. He is literally a good defender and can finish around the rim, but just not great. Bryant Reeves, honestly, I like him way more at the center position than at the power forward position. If you're using Bryant Reeves as a power forward, you're just probably not going to get a great result. Give me beats here for big Bryant Reeves. Next up, guys, we do see Galaxy Opal David Robinson. And look, I'm a big fan of David Robinson. I was, when he was in the mode reward. Obviously, 2K nerfed it. He's no longer available in a salary cap. Instead, all you can really get is a playoff deluxe pack, which is just kind of sad. Like, they removed all of the opals from, the free, it's still RNG, but just basically from the mode rewards, which just kind of was sad to see because the fact that you could get a D-Rob for absolutely free by winning a game of salary cap was kind of a W for everybody that happened to get the card. S tier for David Robinson. DeAndre Ayton, I like DeAndre Ayton. To me, he's one of my favorite budget bigs in the entire game. I know some people probably might not like him as much as me. To me, I just don't see that many other, big men that can do what Ayton can do. Can knock down shots. Has a good player model player build. Gonna play really solid defense. I just don't think there's that many better budget options than a guy like DeAndre Ayton in my team. For me, that's why he is a B tier caliber center in my team right now. Next up, DeMarcus Cousins. I like DeMarcus Cousins. You can get him level 37. He's who I got off of the wheel spin. I like him. Is he as good as D-Rob? To me, no. Like, to me, he doesn't even play for me in my squad. And obviously, my squad is good. I've got Opal, Giannis, some other guys. DeMarcus Cousins, to me, is an A-tier caliber center. Dino Raja. Whenever I play against Dino, I actually struggle against the card. Like, to me, he has a good frame. He does a lot of good things for you guys on the court. I think it's one of these things that Dino is going to be in B tier. I've got to move some guys down, which I'm fine with doing. Those guys can be C tier. Dino, I'll leave it B tier because, again, I really do like and respect what Dino Raja can do in my team. Next up, guys, Domantas Sabonis. I've got to go A tier with Domantas Sabonis. Do I think he's as good as Şengün or Jokic? I think he's on that similar level. I think that's an accurate kind of representation of how good Domantas Sabonis is. They made him 7-1. Don't love his release, but does a lot of great things for you on the court. Dwight Howard stinks. I used Dwight Howard because when the card came out, I had a decent three ball. His release was broken, but I'm like, you know what? He has a decent three ball defensively. He can get the job done. Dwight Howard stinks, man. The card stinks. I honestly was expecting way more out of him. Pink Diamond Hakeem. not good. At this stage, probably C tier. He's still not a garbage man, but probably C tier at this stage. Now, I'm including Galaxy Oppo Hakeem because he is available or was available in the player market for VC. He's S tier. Again, I don't necessarily think he was worth it for a specific time. There was a time and a place, and when the Maestro set came out a month ago, where he was so good. He's still one of the best bigs, best centers in the entire game, S tier. But again, he was behind a basically $20 paywall. I just wish there was a way for me to obtain all the Galaxy Oppos with VC and MT. There's not right now, which does stink. But again, Hakeem wasn't behind gambling. I'll put him at S tier. Hassan Whiteside, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just don't know what I'm supposed to sit up here and say to gas Hassan Whiteside. I don't see it with the card. I know some people might like Hassan, and if that's you, do what you gotta do. Use cards you have fun with, but for me, Hassan Whiteside, not it. Jalen Duren, I'm gonna go C tier. What they did with Jalen Duren is they made him somewhat able to shoot, but not consistently. So I think it holds the card back a little bit. I do think C tier is a valid tier to put him in, but don't think that you're gonna run Jalen Duren and he's gonna be as good as Dino Raja. You'll probably be let down. He is fine. Definitely a card you still can use and have a lot of success with is Jalen Duren. Next up, guys, we do see Joakim Noah. I've tried him. Don't like the card. I'll put him in C tier. Definitely can. Another card that you can throw out there. Can give you some things on the court. Not a card I love, though, in my team. And I think that needs to be stated. Like, again, I don't want to hate on Joakim Noah. But, he, when I've used him, he's just been fine. And I think that's the best thing I can say about Joakim Noah. Again, I'm not trying to hate on him. But anything above C tier, I'm just not sold on. Pink Diamond, Joel Embiid, C tier probably. Galaxy Opal, Joel Embiid, A tier. I still think Galaxy Opal, Joel Embiid, to this day, is an A tier caliber player. I do think he's available in, like, MyTEAM Unlimited. Maybe the level 37. So if you didn't get him off of those games, or out of those modes, whatever, then obviously he's not necessarily a free card. But was available in there, so obviously had to put him on this tier list. Next up, guys, we do see Nurkic. And Nurkic is actually not that bad for a budget center. It just comes down to I like Ayton more. Like, I think it's really that simple. Like, I like DeAndre Ayton more than Nurkic, so it's tough for me to put Nurkic ahead of Ayton. It just can't happen. But both those cards obviously are good and still can compete budget-wise. Wait, I was thinking of the wrong Nurkic. This Nurkic stinks. I don't know why I included Amethyst Nurkic in anything. Put him in F tier. Pink Diamond Nurkic. That's why I was like, what? A little confused. He's C tier. He is C tier. I do still, look, the tough part is, I mean, when it comes down to it, Dino Raja is better than Nurkic. It's just that simple, that easy to understand. I don't even like the fact that Ayton here is at C tier, but I do like him that much. Karl Anthony Towns, his release stinks, guys. His release stinks. Every time I do a video and I include Cat in anything, it just stinks because I want to put Cat higher than, he really is. I think B tier is the right spot for Cat. And I like Cat. I just don't like him in my team. Like, in real life, he's my favorite player. Like, he is. But in 2K, gotta separate things. He's just not great. Pink Diamond Kristaps. Here's where things get tough. Like, I still think I think he's B tier. I want to put him at A tier, but I genuinely don't think I can. I want to put Kristaps at A tier, but genuinely, when it comes down to it, I think he is a B tier caliber player. Marc Gasol, gosh, I mean, B tier and A tier is basically the same. I gotta put Marc Gasol at A tier, but then I feel bad putting Kristaps or Cat at B tier, but I'm going to for now. Gortat, D tier. I know he can do some things on the court, not great. Marcus can be. I don't love him. He actually made my best for their MT video because there's no players for 25,000 MT. Mo Bamba, upper tier of D tier. I don't think he's quite C tier, but Mo Bamba is solid for an Amethyst in my team. Definitely can go out there and not just be a bona fide scrub. At least gives you some things on the court. I just wish his badge total was a little bit higher. Maybe you could go C tier with Mo Bamba. Vooch, I'm going to go C tier with Vooch. I don't love the card, though. PJ Brown, D tier. Rafe LaFrance, B tier. I like Rafe at B tier. I think he's our first B tier card that I'm comfortable putting him in B tier because for me, I like his release. I think, defensively, he's good enough to at least hold it down. Do I think he's perfect? No. But I do think he's good enough to hold it down on the defensive end of the court. Look, I'm not saying the card's perfect. I'm not saying, that he's, going to be the best card in the game. But Rafe, perfect pick and pop option. Robert Parrish. Here's the problem with Robert Parrish. And I'm not trying to hate on Robert Parrish because I do think, there can be a time in which the card can maybe play for you guys. But when I'm looking at things with Robert Parrish, he can't shoot. And I'm not saying shooting the ball is everything because it definitely isn't. But when it comes down to a card that can't shoot, how high can you really be on a card that can't shoot? I don't know. And so that's kind of the tough part for me with Robert Parrish is it's like, I don't think he could be any higher than C tier, but I do like what he gives you as far as an interior center. And when we get to another guy here, you know, when I get down to it, Tree Rollins, I'm going to put him in C tiers too. Because yesterday I did a gameplay, or not a gameplay, I did a video talking about Tree Rollins. And I was like, you know what? I don't hate Tree Rollins. Do I think he might be, do I think he's worth it or worth your guys' time? That might be a different question. But I don't think he's bad. I think he's 7-1 and can compete on the interior. Roy Hibbert, I'm going to go C tier as well. Look, Roy Hibbert at least gives you the ability to shoot the ball somewhat, where Tree Rollins doesn't. But compare the defense of a guy like Tree Rollins compared to a guy like Roy Hibbert. It's not even close. Tree Rollins is way better on the defensive end of the court. Finally, a center I really do like, Tyson Chandler, A tier. I like Tyson more at the power forward position. So I need to kind of, you know, let that be known, say that, make it known to you guys. Tyson Chandler, an A tier center. Victor Wembanyama, I'm convinced is still A tier. You could even go S tier with him. I know Victor Wembanyama. Look, I get it. The Dark Matter Wemby's way better than the Pink Diamond Wemby. But I played against Pink Diamond Wemby today, and he was still out there competing and made me rethink. Do I need to find a way to get Pink Diamond Wemby in my squad still to this day? It made me think twice about it. Next up, guys, Vlade Divac. This card stinks. D-tier, I know he can shoot the ball a little bit, so I mean, I guess if that's what you're looking for, do what you got to do. But like Vlade Divac at this point seems just kind of crazy to me. If you're running him, I'm sorry. Walker Kessler, I mean, he's fine. I don't hate Walker Kessler, but is he above C tier? I don't think so. And maybe it's just like I've never really gotten enough flow with Walker Kessler. I've never really loved the card, but I do think C tier is where he belongs. Big Wang, C tier. Look, Big Wang had his time in my team. He did. Big Wang was one of the best bigs in the game when he came out and, you know, definitely did have his time in my team. It's just that time is not now. Simple, easy. Still has one of the better releases I've used in the game. The problem is, at this stage, like, that's what Rafe is for. Rafe is one of the best stretch bigs in the entire game. Willis Reed, you guys can cry me a river. I'm going B tier. I am so high on Willis Reed. Higher than I should be. I don't care, though. I'm not even going to... I did apologize. But I don't want to apologize for putting him this high. Like, with me, I've had that much success with the card. Like, I shouldn't have to apologize for having success with Willis Reed. Wilt Chamberlain up next. I mean... S tier. And I know people are going to be mad that he's an S tier and that, you know what, he doesn't deserve it and all these things. You know what I got to say to that? I don't care, because Wilt Chamberlain defensively is the best center I've used or played against. I mean, no matter what you want to say, maybe Mark Eaton and all those gambling cards, whatever. But for non-gambling cards, Wilt Chamberlain was available in Clutch Time Online. Wilt Chamberlain's up there. Yao Ming, F tier. I don't care that he's 7'6". Yao Ming is the worst center I've used for his time in my team. I locked in for Yao Ming. So, like, I get it. Like, I've played with Yao Ming. I know what the card can do. Trust me. Not worth your time. If you're locking in for Yao Ming at this stage, I mean, look, number one, you're sad. Number two, I don't blame you because there's nothing else to do with your MT. Claxton up next. He's just undersized. I'm going to go B tier with him because I do think he is a B tier big man, a big B tier center. But he's just undersized. Undersized. His release is on normal, which does make it somewhat slow. He is usable, though. Like, Nicholas Claxton is a guy that I would be comfortable going out there and competing against some of the other best bigs. And it's just like, at this stage, we don't have a lot of budget bigs in my team. It's the way it is. Sabonis, Arvydas Sabonis up next. I'm putting him at A tier. No questions asked. Arvydas Sabonis is that man in my team. Derek Lively, another card. You just wish his 3-ball was a little bit higher. I don't hate on Derek Lively. I think he can go out there and compete, but I do wish that 3-ball was slightly higher. Bill Russell, last but certainly not least. I think it's tough for Bill Russell. Power forward position, he'd probably be maybe S tier. At the A tier, he's just undersized. How I'd rank A tier, people are going to want me to rank A tier and S tier. S tier, it'd probably go like that. I do think I like Hakeem over D-Rob. And I think I like D-Rob over Wilt just for the sole fact that he is going to consistently knock down more shots. So I think that's where I'd be at S tier. A tier, I think it's just a total dumpster fire. I mean, Bill Russell would probably be up here, but it really is a dumpster fire. I don't even know how to rank my A tier. It is that tough. Sabonis definitely would be up there at A tier, though. I know Sabonis gets a lot of hate. Some people say he's not even better than Marcus Holt. Look, Arvydas Sabonis is 7'3" as a stretch big. Trust me, he is at the top of my A tier. That's going to wrap it up for us at our tier list today, guys. Let me know your thoughts on it. Who is I too high on, too low on, down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.